So after Bengaluru, we witnessed yet another disaster as India conceded their first ever home test series since 2012 with New Zealand steamrolling past them and just dominating the entire sequence of 3 days which we had here in Pune. And one of the main aspects of this Indian team is the new head coach, Gautam Gambhir. Not entirely new, but this was his first real test as the head coach, where the entire Indian team faltered and failed and conceded the series very meekly. Atreyo, of course, we are criticizing Rohit Sharma, the entire team for their batting, for their failure against spin bowling, the spin duo of Ashwin and Jadeja not being able to perform up to the mark. But at the center of it, somewhere down the line, lies Gautam Gambhir as well, because he is the leader of this entire group, of the entire Indian team management, and somewhere he is the one making the calls, or he is the one responsible or accountable for whatever the Indian team does on the field, apart from the captain, of course. So, how do you see this start by Gautam Gambhir? Of course, he lost. The Indian team lost the ODI series against Sri Lanka, but I'll still keep that aside because there were a lot of experimentation going around there with certain new players in that team. But this test series, losing a test series for the first time since 2012, I think it has to be a black spot, a small black spot in Gautam Gambhir's so far a successful CV.
Not a small black spot, not a small black mark, Subhayan. Because as you rightly pointed out, that this was actually Gautam Gambhir's first major assignment as the chief coach of the Indian team.
Right.
The Sri Lanka white ball series, Bangladesh test series and ODIs, T20s, sorry. Those were, of course, those were important, but this was the first major test against an established test side which didn't have Kane Williamson. So Gautam Gambhir as chief coach was not possibly responsible for all the decisions taken, but all those decisions were taken when he was at the helm.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure that his inputs were there, and he also, in certain ways, he was responsible for some of the debatable calls, like, for example, the biggest one, the decision to bat first in Bangalore in those conditions. And after that, after that, three spinners, yes, and after that session or half a session, India always played catch up in the two tests. 4 days in Bangalore and 3 days in Pune, India were always behind the game. So Gautam Gambhir's role and his inputs in those decisions will be questioned, and this will put him under some pressure going to Australia.
Absolutely, absolutely, and with WTC final in jeopardy right now, having lost both the matches against New Zealand, it won't be easy. It won't be easy on Gambhir's tactical brain. Also, it won't be easy on him planning freely with a free mind when the team goes to Australia. But I have some stats on Gambhir and his start with the Indian team. After 27 years, India lost a bilateral ODI series against Sri Lanka. It is the first time India lost 30 wickets in a 3-match ODI series against Sri Lanka, because in all 3 matches the team was bundled out. In previous instances, there were instances where India lost 8 wickets, 9 wickets, but were never bundled out in a 3-match ODI series. After 45 years, India remained winless in a calendar year in ODIs, but I will not put too much emphasis on that because it's just a start of Gambhir's tenure as head coach. After 36 years, India lost a test match against New Zealand at home. After 19 years, India lost a test at Chinnaswamy. For the first time, scored less than 50 runs at home. For the first time ever, lost a test series against New Zealand in 69 years of them touring here. And after 12 years, lost a home test series. And after 12 years, lost back-to-back matches in home soil. So this is currently what Gambhir as coach has in his CV as India head coach. Would you look too much into these numbers?
Let's not hold him singularly responsible for all
No,
of that.
Of course not. Of course not. These are just stats which are going around the social media and which are facts. And this is something which Gautam Gambhir, as he said, that everyone, whoever plays for India or is related to the Indian team, will be judged. When he was asked about KL Rahul, so naturally Gautam Gambhir as head coach would also be judged.
I would, yeah, you are right in a way. I would say that I would rather take a look at Gambhir's statement before the start of the series in Bengaluru.
Right.
2 days before the match, he attended the press conference and he emphasized that the focus will be on high risk and high reward kind of a philosophy. Now, he also said that if need be, this team will score 400 plus on a day, and if need be, they will bat out 2 days to secure a draw, like Gambhir himself had done in Napier.
Excellent.
Right.
Tom.
So, but did we see that over here? Did we see that kind of application? Did we see that kind of gumption? Did we see that kind of patience? Did we see that kind of willingness to fight it out? We didn't see that. So it's something that you say, and it's something else that what the team does. So that way, the team's performance in these two test matches have not reflected what Gambhir was trying to say before the start of this series.
Right.
So that way, this puts Gambhir under a bit of pressure. I have no doubt about that.
Absolutely, and I think for KKR, I have seen Gambhir very up close at Eden Gardens when KKR used to train there. He was very hands-on with all the players. What he wanted them to do on the field. He was very particular, very specific with all the players. And in this match, I think he or the entire Indian team management or the coaching staff as a whole missed a trick by not conveying the message to Rohit Sharma that the field set sometimes was too defensive. They were allowing easy singles. They could have put some pressure on the New Zealand batters, but somehow I think everyone, as Rohit mentioned, it's a collective failure. Gambhir as a head coach can't be on the field and decide those moments, but what he can do is pass on the messages, pass on small messages that you can do this, you can do this also. These are suggestions from a head coach. After all, the captain is the one who makes the call, but from Gambhir's side, as he used to do in IPL, that keep on passing message, keep on passing tactical analysis, whatever they are doing in the dugout. I think they missed a trick here. But as you said, Atreyo, I think Gambhir will be under extreme pressure when India heads to the Mumbai for the third test, because if India gets clean sweep, then I think we can forget about the WTC final dream as well.
See, I will not look ahead to the WTC final right now. I mean, there is still some time. There are other matches. I mean, other teams, how they perform, how they fare, that's also going to determine,
Right.
who are the two teams that finally make the cut.
Right.
I'll make a slight deviation here. See, the thing is that in a team sport, the role of the coach it differs. I mean, like in football, if you look
It's
at
very
football,
hands-on, yeah.
if you look at football, the coach or the manager is held singularly responsible for all the failures.
Right.
For the success, he is credited, and for the failures, he's also held responsible. In cricket, it's not exactly the same,
Right.
It's not. We don't have too many examples or instances where a coach has been held totally responsible for a failure.
Right.
But having said that, Gambhir, what I find particularly, as you mentioned, that there were some questionable decisions like batting first, 3 spinners in Bangalore, fielders in the deep in the beginning of an innings. What I find equally inexplicable is using Bumrah for just 14 overs in this Pune Test match. India bowled 150 overs across the 2 innings, and Bumrah, the best fast bowler in the world at the moment, got just 14 of them. The Akashdeep, the other fast bowler, bowled 6 overs in the first innings and none in the second. So what exactly does it mean? This means that India played this test match with 3 bowlers. Of the 150 overs India bowled, the fast bowlers combined across 2 innings bowled 20 overs.
Right.
So, these are things where the coach or the head coach should have some input. It's not possible that this was entirely the captain's call. And even if the captain took those calls, and if the coach noticed that there was something amiss, something was going wrong, it was his responsibility, his job to point that out.
Right.
We didn't see that happen, and these are things which, this is not a subject of interpretation. This is there for all of us to see. So, and I find it completely baffling. You have Bumrah and bowl him. You don't give him the ball at all.
There are many decisions we can pinpoint and start talking
So
about.
these are things that
And this was his second test series as a head coach. Bangladesh was relatively easier, although the team did a commendable job in Kanpur to win that test match. But this was his real test where I think him as head coach, the entire team management, entire leadership group, the entire group of players failed miserably in Bangalore. Now in Pune, we don't know about what happens in Mumbai. But right now they will be under pressure to avoid a series defeat or a series clean sweep rather, and hopefully try and go to Australia with at least one win under their belt.
that's the least that they can hope for, because the series is gone. It's a massive disappointment. No doubt about that. I mean, everybody expected India to win this.
Right.
I mean, India were,
Especially after the way they lost the Bangalore test.
and we were all talking about what are the chances of winning 3-0.
Right.
Now we are looking at the chances of not losing 3-0. So that's it's a crushing blow in the for everybody connected with the Indian team, and as we said earlier, that this will increase the pressure on not only on Gambhir but also on the team management.
Right.
Gambhir is part of the team management. He's a head of the team management as the chief coach. So I am sure that there will be lessons that will be learned. There will be some course correction. There will be some thought correction. There will be some shifts. There will be some changes in the attitude, in the approach, and everything that comes along with that. So the next few weeks and the next few months rather are going to be very, very challenging for Gambhir, the coach.
Gambhir, the player, was a fighter. Now let's see whether
Yes.
Gambhir, the head coach, and his team can fight it out and come out of this difficult spot. Do let us know what you think about Gautam Gambhir and his start as India head coach. Do you think there are certain things which needs to be corrected when it comes to the Indian team? Do let us know in the comment section below. And for now, this is Atreyo and me, Subhayan, signing off from Pune. Stay tuned.